God is not a Christian, and he is not.
My topic is God is not a Christian. God
is not a Christian.
God is not a Christian.
Just cool down and watch this video till end. Share this video.
God is not a Christian, and he is not. Even for those of us who are of the Christian faith, Christ was not a Christian.
God's original plan was never religion. And that's a concept that we need to just clear in our minds. That's really a paradigm shift, because we are all religious people. And I'm talking about everybody: Buddhists, Muslims, Hindus, Confucius, Scientologists, Baha'i faith, the Moonies, Unification Church. Yeah, there's a whole lot of religions, and I better throw into part Christianity, because Christianity has become just like all the others. It's one massive, complicated, ritualistic, religious experience.
Well, I am here to talk to you tonight about a man who was never religious. His name is Jesus Christ. He never joined a religion. He was never a Pharisee. Check it out. He was never a Sadducee, because they were sad, you see. But he was never an Herodian. He never joined the Sanhedrin Council. He never joined Caiaphas the high priest. He never submitted to the bishop, the high priest Caiaphas. He never became a part of the religion of Judaism. As a matter of fact, his number one opposition was religious people. The ones who called for his death were not sinners. This man is a mystery. He was not religious.
My topic is God is not a Christian. God is not a Jew, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, Shintoist, agnostic. What I'm saying by that is that God cannot be defined by or confined to any of those disciplines.
God is not a Christian. He says it's really important for us to understand that God created us all, not just Christians, in God's image, investing in every human being with infinite worth, and that it was then in our creation that God entered into a covenant relationship with every human being. He says Christianity does not have an exclusive proprietary claim on God, as if God were a Christian. There is ample biblical evidence to support the case that God is not a Christian. John's gospel, right at the beginning, makes a cosmic and startling claim for Jesus, Bishop Tutu says, as the light who enlightens everyone, not just Christians. Every one of God's human creatures has the capacity to know something about God from the evidence that God leaves in his handiwork, in God's handiwork. Paul, when he speaks before the Areopagus, talks about how God has created all human beings from one stock and given everyone the urge, the hunger for divine things, so that all will seek after God.
Amen.
And that all of us live and move and have our being in God. Now, let's just pause there. Paul is saying in Acts of the Apostles that everybody lives and moves and has their being in God. That's not a God who's out there and distant and above. That is a God in whom we swim. That is a God in whom we breathe. Remember Richard Rohr saying last Sunday that God is the breath, Yahweh, between us all. That's the new narrative we're trying to articulate with our colleagues throughout the world. In any case, Bishop Tutu reminds us that Buddhists are constrained to greet one another and us with a profound bow as they say, Namaste. The God in me greets the God in you.
God is not a Christian. When you finish laughing, I'll repeat. God is not a Christian. You know, many of you think if you're not a Christian, you won't go to heaven. Lie.
Share the video.
There's no salvation in... When did Christianity start? People went to heaven before Christianity started. Christianity started in Antioch, in the book of Acts. So God is not a Christian. That should humble you a bit. And that should start adjusting your theology. Christianity started in Acts, in Antioch. And it is unbelievers that gave the name. Unbelievers gave you a name that you are carrying as a condition for going to heaven.
It is unbelievers. Unbelievers who watch the people that were adherents of Brother Paul's teaching. After teaching for some time, and they saw the transformation that happened to these people. That means before then, they didn't have name as Christians. They were called believers. They were called almajiris, disciples. They were Paul's almajiris. They were disciples of Paul. They were disciples of Paul. Then the people say, well, instead of just calling them disciples, the transformation we see in them, they look like Christ. Let's call them Christians. But before then, many people have gone to heaven, including the thief on the cross. So you don't have to be a Christian to make heaven.